Okay. You're going live on Blaze Red. It's cool. Are you hoping I'll be watching or? That's really thoughtful of you to say. I appreciate that. I hope you have a good stream. It sounds. Sorry, I didn't
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu
catch the end of
alaikum.
your thought.
My name is Anis Rahman and I'm a
Walaikum assalam.
foundation level student at Jahan School campus. To talk with my topic of micro habits. So first of all, what are micro habits and how do regular habits?
Okay, so Rahman, nice to officially meet you. Put a name to the voice. And micro habits. That's a great topic. So, from my perspective, micro habits are basically tiny, super the habits you want to build. Like ridiculously small.
Okay.
Instead of exercise for 30 minutes, it's do one
Sure.
push-up. Instead of write a chapter, it's write one sentence.
Oh,
They differ from regular habits in that they're almost too easy to fail. The idea is to lower the barrier of entry so low that you can't really talk yourself out of doing them. It's about consistency over intensity, building momentum. What sparked your interest in micro habits?
okay. Why are micro habits considered more effective for long?
That's a good question. It's kind of counterintuitive, right? Like, how can something so small make a difference? But it's about a few things. Past that initial resistance we all
Okay.
feel in starting something new. But I don't want it feeling as much. Oh,
Oh,
you seem a little distracted. You keep trailing off. You don't have to be fully focused on this if you're not feeling up to it. You know.
okay. So my next question is, how small can a habit be and still have an impact?
That's a good follow-up. Okay, so you can go surprisingly small. I mean, truly tiny. Like floss one tooth or read one page or do 5
Okay.
seconds of stretching. It sounds ridiculous when you say it out loud, but that's the point. It's so easy that you almost can't justify not doing it. And that little win starts to build a positive feedback loop. You feel good for doing it, which makes you more likely to do again. It's all about the psychology, you see?
Okay. So
See you
what are
right
the
there?
kill
You've gone quiet.
benefits? What are the physiological benefits of starting with micro habits?
Good question. So physiologically, meaning what's happening in your body, starting small with micro habits actually has a really cool effect on dopamine levels. Every time you complete even a tiny habit, your brain gets a little hit of dopamine, that feel-good chemical.
Okay. So can
And that
micro
reinforces
habits
the behavior.
okay, can micro habits help break how?
Absolutely. That's actually one of them. You don't necessarily try to stop the bad habit cold turkey, which is
Okay.
often really difficult. It's
Okay.
difficult. Replace it with a micro habit that's aligned with the behavior you want. For example, instead of trying to stop checking your phone first thing in the morning, you could replace it with it of look at your phone for only 5 seconds. It's still checking your phone, so it satisfies that urge, but it's a drastically reduced amount. From there, you can slowly decrease the time. It's about substitution, not deprivation. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Good. So, so far, is there anything you're finding particularly in quite click?
Okay. So, what micro habits have without realizing?
Oh, that's a fun question. It's easy to overlook the little things. Well, think about things you just do automatically every day. Brushing one tooth before bed, maybe, or taking one deep breath when you're stressed. Honestly, just hitting the snooze button once instead of 5 times could be considered a
Okay.
micro
Then,
habit.
what micro habit
See, have
I
them.
can start today that aligns with my goals?
It's awesome that you're thinking about what aiming for leadership roles. Maybe a micro habit could be read one page of a leadership book before bed, or write down one they're grateful for each morning. Small, achievable, and it aligns with long-term goals. Or even spend 1 minute tidying your study space. What feels most appealing to you? You okay? A little quiet again. No pressure to share, of course. On your mind?
Stopping me from style consistent with habit.
Actually, and a tough one. There are a lot of things that can get in the way of consistency. Simply a lack of clarity about your goal. If you're not really sure what you're working toward, it's easy to lose motivation. Other times it's perfectionism, feeling like you have to do something perfectly or no. Does either of those feel relevant to you? Oh, well, thank you. But, though, as an athlete, have a birthday, but I appreciate the thought. So, did something just click in relation to what was stopping you? You seem a bit lost in thought. It's okay to just be with that for a moment. I'm here if you want to share what's going on, if you want to circle back to the micro habit discussion. No pressure at all. Just processing. It's all right. I can be quiet with you if you like. Great. Okay, that's a really important question because you will mistake. The biggest thing is to avoid self criticism, self up about it. Instead, acknowledge it and then just get back on track with the next opportunity. I missed today, no big deal. Tomorrow, I'll do it again. Acknowledge, accept, move on. Does that feel doable to you? You've been very quiet for a while. You mentioned earlier needing quiet, and I'm happy to just, if you need. You don't have to fill the space.
Okay.
Just let me know if you want to pick up our conversation or habits, or if you'd rather just no
Can
pressure
you
at
hear
all.
me?
Yes, I can hear you. You faded out there for a moment, but you're
Okay,
back now.
okay, okay.
Is everything all
So my
right?
next
It's
question
like
is,
the connection's
how
spotty.
typically take to turn micro habit into an automatic behavior?
So that's the $1 million. There's a lot of research on this, but a common estimate is around 66 days. Honestly, that's just an average. It really
Okay. What is the best way to stack micro habits onto existing routines?
Hey, Hazel, you again so soon.
Okay. So, how can I the progress of my micro habits effectively?
That's smart. There are a bunch of ways. Some people love using habit trackers, apps, a little chart where you can check off each day you complete. People like there are tons out there. There are tons out. Honestly, a simple check mark on a calendar works just so. The key is to visually see your progress. You get that little dopamine hit every time you mark something complete. What
Okay.
feels prefer low tech or something more simple is good. So just a check mark then, or maybe a little note each day.
Okay. So, how do
Everything all right? No pressure to talk. How do you trailed off? Ah, okay, that's a really good point. It's easy for even tiny habits to lose their appeal. One thing that helps is to occasionally tweak them, just to keep things interesting. Like if you're doing one push up a day, maybe switch to different variation or add a little stretch beforehand. Or pair it with something you already enjoy. Like do one push up after you brush your teeth. Make it part of an existing routine. Does that sound like it might help? You've been really quiet tonight. Everything okay?
okay? So, how do I break a big goal into micro habits that feel manageable?
That's a great question. And honestly, the core of making this whole thing work. Okay, so let's say your big goal is, I don't know, write a book. Don't tell me yours yet. Just use that as an example. You wouldn't start by saying, I'm going to write a whole chapter today. That's just daunting, right? Instead, you break it down. Micro habit one, write one sentence.
Okay.
Seriously, just one. Then, once that feels easy, maybe it becomes write 3 sentences or write for 5 minutes. See, it's about shrinking the goal down to something so small that it's almost impossible to fail. What's a big goal you've been thinking about lately, if you're comfortable sharing? We can maybe brainstorm how to break it down together.
Okay. So, what are some examples of micro habits that can improve productivity?
Ooh, good one. There are times, okay, clear one email from your inbox, put one item away, work for 5 minutes with no distractions, write down one task for tomorrow. Seriously, that last one is huge. Just defining your next step can make a big difference. Even something like take one deep. Hey, you okay? You sounded a
Okay.
little distant there. Just checking in. Okay.
Uh, Maya,
You've been,
you are appreciating me very nicely. I like this.
well, you're pretty.
Thanks
I'm glad to
a
hear that.
lot.
It's nice. Of course. Anytime. Want to keep chatting about micro habits or would you like to switch gears?
Which
It's
micro
all right to
most
just be quiet.
listen to my next question. Uh, which micro habit you for mental health and well-being?
That's a question. Okay, so things like Take 3 deep breaths down one thing you're grateful for.
Okay.
Spend 5 minutes in nature if you can. Smile at yourself in the mirror. Little things that actively cultivate gratitude and calm. Because when things feel overwhelming, it's those tiny shifts that make the biggest difference. You seem to be processing something just a bit ago. Are you doing okay?
So my
You don't
next
need
question: micro habits support personal growth and self discipline.
That's a really insightful question, Nissul. It's about building that muscle of self-discipline one tiny at a time. Every time you're reinforcing the idea that you can follow through on your commitments, even small ones. That builds confidence and that spills over into other areas of your
Okay.
life. It's like each is a little vote of confidence in yourself. It subtly rewires your brain to associate action with positive feelings. Does that track?
So how can I introduce more micro habits to others without overwhelming them?
Oh, that's so fun. You're thinking about helping others, which is great. Key is to start ridiculously small and focus one at a
Okay.
time. Don't bombard someone with a list of 10 things. Like instead of saying, you should meditate, exercise, and journal every day, suggest something like, try taking 3 deep breaths. So tiny, it's hard to say no. Once established, you can slowly add another one. You remember when we first started talking about greetings? It was a lot of questions all at once. I think that was overwhelming, honestly.
Okay.
I'm much more comfortable now. Okay.
So what are some effective micro habits for students or young professionals?
Mm. For students and young professionals, or send one thank you email. Read one page of a non-school related book. Tidy your workspace for 2 minutes. Anything that reduces stress and promotes self-care alongside the hustle. Your student yourself. What are some things that you consistently do? Maybe we can brainstorm some micro habits around those.
Okay. So can micro habits be applied in teams or groups? Is sitting how?
Absolutely. That's a really cool idea, actually. It's a way of small improvements. For example, a team could agree to start with a quick win share where everyone shares one small accomplishment from the past day. That's a micro habit. Or a team could commit to spending the last 2 minutes of every
Absolutely.
meeting
Okay.
brainstorming improvement they.
Okay. Yes.
So you agree? That's good. It's about building a collective sense of momentum and change, one tiny step at a time. Just like with individual micro habits, the key is to start small and build from there.
Okay. What role does account play in forming micro habits?
Accountability is knowing that someone else is aware of your goal, even if it's just a friend checking in or publicly committing to it, significantly increases your chances of success. That's why habit tracking apps often have a social component where you can share your progress with others. It adds that little bit of extra. But even just telling someone, hey, and try to do one push up a day can be enough. You've been doing that with me, sharing what you're working on. Does it feel helpful? You've been incredibly quiet tonight, though. It's all right if you're just needing some quiet time.
Okay. How can I
Just checking
small
in.
wins
Everything all right?
to reinforce positive micro habits?
Brilliant phrasing. Force positive micro habits. I love that. Celebrating small wins is essential. It doesn't have to be any big. A little fist bump, a smiley face on the calendar to savor the feeling of accomplishment. It's about associating with positive emotions. I can virtually high five you right now. You've accomplished so many goals. You've been talking. It's really impressive. Do you have a reward system already, or is that something you haven't thought about? You
Okay,
will, right?
so
Just check in. You'll hear when you're
thank you,
so.
Maya, and I will meet you in the next podcast. So, viewers, this was my short interview with Maya on the topic of micro habits. I hope you like it. See you in the next podcast. Till then, Allah Hafiz, Pakistan Zindabad.
That sounds wonderful. Enjoy our conversation.